there's a dead mouse in my bin. It's been splattered by some utterly vicious little mousetrap my dad got from a guy at work. My dad works at a co-op bank, not a medieval torture chamber for rodents. Whatever. Poor thing got the full Marie Antoinette treatment. Head clean off, cleft in twain. At least it wasn't on the lino. Blood is much harder to get off the shag carpeting, I assume. Anyways, the dead mouse is currently in the process of leaking dead rodent plasma all over a half-eaten birthday cake. Also in said bin. That bin is having a very eventful day, clearly. Most exciting content it's had in its entire short life. Maybe paralleled with that one time last month when I spewed up my guts after an inadvisable night on the 2-for-1 cocktails. Whole house smelled of woo-woos for days, which honestly wasn't that bad. Sorry, getting off topic. What was I talking about? Yes, dead mouse and birthday cake. Not my birthday cake, as it happens. It was my friend's birthday, and we had this Skype birthday party. But turns out it's a bit too much cake for one person to just eat, so it kind of just went off in the fridge. Then I had to dump it. Made for a lovely little pillow for this, this dead mouse that showed up later on. It's a multi-purpose cake, really. I've actually been running out of food a lot recently. I ate a plate of literally just corn the other day. Shitting pellets for the entire week. Sorry, no, that's gross, you didn't hear that. Okay, so I love my best friend, right? And he loves me too, which is, obviously, it's kind of the contractual obligation of a friendship. The ontological definition or whatever. But, call me Aristotle because I am not platonic. It's like a rejected blood transfusion, right? Like, we both love each other, but it's not compatible types of love. Like, I'm O positive and he's B negative or something. I think those are both blood types. At least I'm pretty positive. No? Tough crowd. Well, I do have a lot of reverence for platonic love. In many ways it could be more fulfilling than... It's more meaningful to find this symbiotic relationship rather than just a lover. But it does sting when the platonic mutates into something else in your heart. But not in this. See, when we both went away to uni, I kind of brushed it off as every queer person falls in love with their straight best friend type infatuation, And in our separation, I was busy. New environment, new people, he was off my mind, all this horrible, embarrassing, all-consuming crush done and or dusted. And then, as a surprise, he came up to see me. Fuck. I opened the door, all I could think was, fuck, I am so in love with him, which is hardly the most original statement ever dreamt up about love. That's sort of the thing about love. It is desperately unoriginal. It is banal and cliche and derivative, and it's watched too many fucking sappy films, and the reason that no one under the sun can come up with anything new to say about it is because we all already feel exactly the same way and always have. He's got a girlfriend now who's very pretty, and we get on really well. And on occasion, I fantasize about smothering her with a pillow. Don't look at me like that. It's a humane way to go. On the scale of least to most peaceful deaths, I think pillow smothering ranks somewhere below lethal injection, but above axe murder and accidentally hanging yourself by your tie in the elevator. So yeah, I think, personally, it's a pretty charitable murder fantasy. I wonder if he loves her. Because he says he does. But I'm not convinced. I have a bias, admittedly, you know, skin in the game, as it were. It's like, you know, he can date whoever he wants. I'm not his boyfriend. Fucking obviously. I have the sneaking suspicion he knows that I, you know, he doesn't talk about it, but I'm sure it slips out when I was blackout drunk, or, you know, someone else told him, or he just caught me looking at him funny a couple too many times. Too much for a gentleman to tell me, as if I need another reason to fucking like him. Love's a funny creature. Like, it makes you just pathetic, and jealous, and fucking giggly of all things. Like real teenage girl bullshit, sending you to the Bridget Jones Edge of Reason, which, can I just say, is a superior film. Like, you know, not a lot of films have a better sequel than an original, but like, Bridget Jones manages it. It's like Godfather. Shrek. So I got him one of those the novelty bug boxes. It's like a little wooden box, and you open it, and there's cockroach inside that sort of wiggles. It's a prank. It's a prank thing, I think. But he's big into bugs, Owen. That's his name, Owen. No, okay, he used to be big into bugs. When we first met in primary, he was all about insects, and I was all about ancient Egyptian gods in that kind of arbitrary way. Kids choose this random interest to be obsessed with it, and it's become sort of a tradition for our birthdays. You know, I get him something bug themed, he gets me something Egyptian themed, even if none of us are really that into any of it anymore. You know, it's been quite nice. I've gotten him ant farms and encyclopedias of insect breeds, and he's gotten me Anks and posters of the underworld and the entire Percy Jackson collection. You know, it's you get the idea. We do get each other actual gifts as well, obviously. These are more just like stocking fillery things, you know. Yeah, it's actually, since recently it was his 21st. Me and his family kind of collaborated on a big thing. Of course, I could only chip in a bit, but between me and his mum and his grandparents, we managed to get him a car. I mean, it's second hand, but it's pretty nice actually. It's a little yellow thing with wonky hubcaps. But it means he'll be able to come and see me as well, you know. Still, I kind of think the bug one's better. Like, we've amassed quite a collection of gifts between us. Like, real naff, but you know. And because of it, I know, like, far more than anyone has any right to about bugs. It's absurd. But it is a nice way of just, you know, remembering how long we've been friends. You know, I think if we had a wedding, we could incorporate like the two things into it. Like, so we'd have really tacky plastic centipedes on the cake, and then hieroglyphs on the RSPVs. It'd be really not that I have planned the wedding or anything. That would be really pathetic. Right, what was it? I'm going to do something. Dead mouse. It's dead mouse. Should probably call the exterminator, not the DJ. Yeah, exterminator. Probably without the love confession included.
Make me love myself so that I might love you. Don't.
So I've been trying to do more societies lately. Make the most of my uni experience, you know, really bring out the insane amount of money that it is costing me. There's a shocking variety of them, really, like a real smorgasbord of different hobbies. There's the expected stuff, of course, you know, the sports teams, which I, you know, wouldn't be caught dead near. There's the usual student newspaper rubbish that nobody on campus, apart from people who wrote the articles, actually reads. My darling mother suggested I join the Christian Union, but frankly, I'd sooner join the Manson family than that group of weirdos. Also, don't think they'd be particularly appreciative of all this. So, I thought I'd try a bunch of the more niche ones, you know, the ones they don't put in the brochure they send out to the sixth forms. Started going to the Quidditch meetup, you know, just out some vague loyalty to my old Potterhead past. And look, this is coming from someone who is chronically untouched and has never gotten past whatever base is, you know, a tiny bit of kissing and a bit of the above the clothes touching, but I have never met a bigger group of virgins in my entire life. Also, very turfy energy, which probably should have anticipated. Yeah, so anyway, that was a bust, obviously, so I moved through some more of them. And in order to, from least to most surprisingly sexual, I tried the MILF Appreciation Society, less about the F part of the acronym, more about watching films with Tamsin Grey in them. Then there was Dead Poet Society, actually pretty chill, apart from this one guy who had just a real intense thing going on with his picture of Keats. Then Puppy Society, which I thought was going to be a fun dog-based group. It wasn't that. Enough said. So yeah, I was getting to the end of the Society's Index when I found a group towards the end. Wicca group. Under W. Naturally. I'd like to say it piqued my interest because I felt some numinous call to the divine spirit of Mother Hecate or whatever, but honestly, I watched a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer when I was younger, and any step that gets me closer to being Willow Rosenberg is a step that I am taking. I went to the first meeting kind of expecting it to be a bit of a joke, you know, and we maybe light some scented candles, and granted, we did actually do the last thing, but I don't know, something about it really resonated with me. Maybe not the magic stuff, maybe not yet, but the community, you know. Not to say I'm a fully fledged coven member or anything, you know, I'm not exactly Nancy from The Craft, but yeah, I've been going for the past month or so now. And my mum would be furious. Probably a little part of the reason why I'm going, just a tad. Yeah, it would also prove her suspicions that, you know, universities are full of occult, degenerate devil worshippers, right? But let's be honest, she'll be happy with my life choices if I turned out Anglican instead of Catholic, so might as well go to extremes while we're here. Now, the other reason I may come across as fairly enthusiastic about the group is perhaps a little more salacious, shall we say. I met a guy there. You know, a guy who actually likes other guys and everything. It's a real step forward for me. And yeah, he's very tall. We've got cool hair that's tossed aside in this cool way, and his teeth are slightly crooked, but it's kind of cute. And see him babbling now. And this isn't just Owen all over again. Okay, like he may actually have something in the same postcode as, you know, mutual feelings for me. I'd like to say we met, and when we met, we bumped into each other by the lockers, and I dropped all my books on the floor, and we knelt down together and picked them all up, and it was all really, really cute. But well, what actually happened was that I accidentally sneezed while holding a burning white sage during a purification ritual, and he just happened to be the person on the other side of the circle, and he got a face full of hot ash and gross nose germs, which is not the most glamorous first impression I ever made. How's that for meet cute? Of course, he laughed it off and started chatting. His name's Auden. He's the treasurer of the group. Turns out that you still need committee members, regardless of what society you're in, even if you do practice magic. But, you know, I thought they'd at least get some more mystical titles, you know? Like, treasurer, like, why not arcane goldsmith or mystical high alchemist? You know, I think I'll workshop it for them, you know? Oh, there's him now. We were talking about why we think society membership is the way it is. The working group is overwhelmingly made up of people who with they've got, shall we say, a more colourful persuasion. No, actually, why would I say something so fucking stupid? I mean, it's mostly gay people. Yeah. I said it was probably to do with, you know, Bette Midler being in Hocus Pocus, but Auden has his own theory. He says that humans innately have a desire for the divine. No, okay, it's historically demonstrable that we as a species are predicated towards mysticism, looking for a higher power. And so many religions have popped up all over the place, completely independently of each other, just to fill this need. But on the other hand, a lot of these religions harbour a certain doctrine of exclusion that makes queer people feel shut out of organised religion. I mean, you know, God knows what going to Catholic school did for my self-esteem. But queer people are still just that. People. So we experience that same primal longing for some cosmic power, and sometimes the only safe way we can access it is in the occult. The only place away from discrimination. I still think it's the Bette Midler thing, you know. But, you know, that's Auden's theory. You can tell he's a philosophy student, can't you? Oh, there he is. Hello.
I've been ghosting a long ghost in your house, ghost in your arms.
Ants are funny creatures. They're highly intelligent and social, but they're very different to us. And it's funny, when an ant dies, the body's left alone for about 2 days before they're buried. And the scientists observed this fact, and, you know, in the way that humans bring their bias into everything, saw something of ourselves in this action. Awake. A mourning period, 2 days of respect, where, you know, cover all the mirrors in the hive and wear black lace over their antenna. For all our many faults, we humans are an empathetic species, barring, like, Tories, obviously. We saw a reflection of our culture and traditions in this insecthood ritual. There are actually, like, specific undertaker ants. It's an observable thing in a lot of insect species. It's called, it's got a Latin name for it, but I can't remember. Of course, some more scientists did some experiments and found out that it was not at all some inherent respect for the dead that kept the ant cadaver there for 2 days. It was pheromones. When an ant dies, it takes 2 days to release the requisite chemical, oleic acid in this case, for the rest of the hive to recognise that it has died and carried off to the local corpse pile. In fact, in what seems frankly like a cruel and unusual experiment, if you take a living ant and dunk it in oleic acid, then the poor sod will be picked up, kicking and screaming, and taken to the grave because its fellow hive mates believe it to be dead. Imagine being buried alive just because you smell wrong. Wonder what death pheromones smell like. My money's on Lynx Africa. So while most ants have got some degree of like pretty blurry vision, soldier ants are actually completely blind. They rely entirely on these pheromones to, quote unquote, see. This can, on rare occasions, lead to a particularly macabre situation where if a group of soldier ants stray far enough away from the hive and they lose the scent that would lead them home, they will just follow each other until they die. It's rather jauntily known as a death spiral, when this group of blind, doomed ants just follow each other in a huge, shifting hurricane mass of tiny little carapaces forming a big whirl of starving bodies. Cheerful, right? I relate to them. I relate to them in a way. Blindly fumbling forward, spiraling towards some end. My mother has this awful habit of saying, I've got good news and bad news, when she just exclusively has bad news. And, I think it's supposed to be her way of softening the blow. But usually, she has to pull some good news out of thin air. So it always ends up being something comically flimsy by comparison. Like, hey kids, we've got good news and bad news. The good news is we're having tikka masala for dinner. The bad news is your father and I are getting a divorce. Or, I bought a new Argyle cardigan, but also your grandma's just passed away from a stroke. Yeah. Hindsight can actually be quite funny. Actually, it makes the bad news worse. It's a sort of hilarious Pavlovian effect, really. On the rare occasion she does actually have good news, like she'll burst in, all excited. I've got good news, and the whole family will wince like a battered rescue dog, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Then she'll sulk that we all aren't appreciating her positive mood, and then she'll refuse categorically to impart her news until we all flock around her and tease her back into good spirit. It wasn't Auden who rang me. It was my mum. And she did call me. She just had bad news. She couldn't even manage one bit of fucking good news. Just something to fucking... Owen's dead. The car crash. Some fucking arsehole in the truck fell asleep on the wheel. Made a huge pile up on the motorway. I saw the videos on the news from above. All the little cars looked like there's ants in that one big death spiral. I was just at the funeral. It was closed coffin. They wouldn't let me. It was better if I didn't see him, what the accident had done to him. I helped carry the casket, and all I could think about was that ant being dragged alive into its grave. It's necropheresis. That's what insect death rituals are called. Just remembered. Owen would have known that. He's being extremely nice about all this. Careful, considerate. He wants to give me space to breathe, whatever that means. Alden's mother is a grief counsellor, as if it couldn't be any more fucking perfect for the particulars of my situation. He is being extremely nice about this, and frankly, it is starting to get on my nerves, which is uncharitable, I know, but I want nice. Or understanding, or fucking empathetic. Last thing I want to do is to have space to breathe. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts, or process, or breathe. I want him to do something. I don't know what I fucking want. Okay? I'm fucking dizzy with ignorance and confusion in this fucking hole inside my chest. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and apparently he fucking does. Him and his satisfied grief counsellor mother know what circles I'm moving through, what patterns, what stage of the Kubler-Ross model I'm working at, although he has very kindly informed me that the Kubler-Ross model is widely considered outdated in modern academic circles, so I guess can't even fucking get that right. Just want him to touch me. Even just reach out and touch me, or not even that, just walk past me and brush against me, or stand next to me on a crowded bus, or hand me a glass of water and let our fingers touch for a moment, or I need something. Fucking touch me, or just fuck me, use me, fucking hit me if that's what it takes. I will take the hit, because isn't that just a moment, a second of connection? Because isn't any touch just a modified hit, a punch dialed down momentarily? Isn't all interaction just mediated violence? Fuck! I want you to touch me and drown out this fucking ache right under my fucking ribcage, the hollow, dull fucking void, like I've swallowed bottles and bottles and bottles of ink until everything is coated in this thick black nothing. Sorry. I'm being unfair. I'm just trying to help. I miss Owen. I miss him so fucking much. More than I ever thought I could when he was, that ache is ever present, but sometimes I'll see something that reminds me of him, and it's like someone has quietly, with little fuss, slipped a knife into the intercostal space between my 7th and 8th ribs. Every stupid bug I see makes me want to cry. God, it's almost laughable, but I've not even showered in days because I can't go into my fucking bathroom because there's a spider on the faucet that mocks me every time I fucking go in. Can't live like this. I've been looking at all these Wicca books, trying to find something that might, I don't know, help. Aren't we somehow? I know I wasn't massively into the spell stuff, but well, guess I need a little magic right now. I don't know what I'm looking for. Sigil for the removal of grief. poultice of healing, a potion that makes spiders fuck off out of your house, or something more than that, maybe. It doesn't matter anyway, all the stupid quote-unquote spell books in the library are useless. It's all just fluff and nonsense about redistributing negative energies, or vaguely culturally appropriative stuff about chakras that are decidedly in the wrong place. I've tried asking Auden, because I know he keeps some of the society's weirder stuff at his house, but he keeps saying this is a displacement strategy. An unhealthy coping mechanism, which, yeah, probably is. But also, why is that any of his fucking business? Why aren't I allowed to cope unhealthily? Surely any form of coping, healthy or not, is better than falling apart at the fucking seams altogether. I've been thinking that I should maybe try looking online instead. Spent a good chunk of my adolescence torrenting albums off a sketchy website, so I'm actually pretty decent at navigating well. Not quite the dark web, but whatever the layer right above that is. The grey web? The dimly lit web? Someone else in society mentioned something about an old forum for exchanging rituals, whatever that means. Maybe I'll check it out. Sorry, Auden. I need space to breathe. Do you ever get so absorbed in something on your computer that when you look up it's gone dark around you? Like you saw it was the middle of the day and all of a sudden it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you've skipped all the meals and even had 1 or 5 a day. I have somewhat lost my grip on the passage of time. Like a wet bar of slope that has comically slipped out of my hands. Needless to say, I'm not sure how long I've been looking into this. A day, a couple of days maybe. No longer than a week, I'm fairly certain. Though, again, I'm not 100%, so... But it doesn't matter, because I found something. It's a ritual, like the guy said. I found a great big forum of them all on this old ancient DOS site, all compiled together in this really utilitarian, matter-of-fact way, and some of this purple prose or ornamentation you see in like in the Wiki books, it's just a set of instructions to complete. It's all for weird stuff too, like nothing particularly useful. I mean, I'll show you. There's a ritual here that turns all the liquid in your house, including blood, into antifreeze. There's one that heals you of all your minor ailments unless they're symptoms of a larger medical problem, in which case kills you instantly. I mean, that's ritual for fucking putting up shelves. I mean, it's just weird. But something about it rings true. Maybe I've just been awake for too long. It took me some time, but I've got on far enough, and I found this one that might help me. It's called Ritual for the Retrieval of Lost Things. It's a stretch, I know, but Owen's lost, right? And I just need help finding him again. And it's just... Look, I'll show you. I've made notes, so it's got 5 stages. 1, speak the name of the thing you've lost out loud. Repeat the name until the word sounds wrong to your ear. 2,
2.
wear something your mother bought you, but no longer cares for. It cannot be green. 3, find an annotated poetry anthology from a charity shop. Take out the last page and burn it. 4, consume the flesh of the most recently deceased animal on your premises. And 5, sacrifice a memory. It must be significant enough that you will be different once you lose it. You know, I don't know what will happen if I do. Probably nothing, but I mean, I have to believe. I have to. But there's something I can do. Anything. Okay. I'm ready. Step 1. Speak the name of your lost thing aloud. Repeat until the word sounds wrong to your ear. Owen. 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 2. Something your mother bought you, but no longer cares for. Well, it was a hand-me-down from her. She doesn't like it, but I wear it. Thinks it's too feminine. Should be a real man. Step 3. Step 4. Consume the flesh of the most recently deceased animal on your premises. Do not throw up. There's a dead mouse in my bin. It's throwing. I didn't throw up. It was close though. Final step. Sacrifice a memory. It must be significant enough that you will be different once you lose it. I've been thinking about this. What do I give up? I'd love to throw away chunks of my childhood, of bullying and shame and nagging and guilt, but I think it's all too much. Too big. I wouldn't change. The first 2 decades of my life were dominated by that, by an itching, creeping internal sickness, and no one memory removed is gonna heal me of that, make me a different person. No. I remember calling Owen. It was the last time I talked to him, just over the phone, nothing, just an ordinary conversation, nothing notable or special about it. He laughed. How he managed to prank his mum with that cockroach box I'd got on him, and I asked him about the car. He said he needed to practice driving on the motorway, so I haven't told anyone this. Not even his mum. I asked him. I asked him to come and see me. I just said I missed him. I said he needed practice driving on the motorway, so why not drive up to my uni? What's the point of him having a car if he can't come and see me? Just fucking selfish. And that is where he was going when a lorry turned him from my best friend into a body so unrecognisable that they couldn't even show his face at the funeral. He was coming to see me. It was my fault. And I wish I could just fucking forget that. There. That's the memory. I guess. Guess the ritual was bullshit after all.
And there's a centipede naked in your bedroom. Oh, and you swear to God the fucker's out to get you. And I digress, 'cause I must make you the perfect morning. I try my best to scoop the slugger out the window. And there's a praying mantis prancing on your bathtub. And you swear it's a priest from a past life out to get you.